Hey everybody, it's Dale Jr. and we're live here on YouTube, Dirty Mo Media. Thanks for joining us today. This is the Ask Junior segment of the Dale Jr. Download. We've had a fun show this Tuesday. We're talking about Atlanta and we're talking about charters and we're telling some fun jokes. But it's been a fun show. We had Joe Logano call in and talk about Larson's crash and Denny's approach, his strategy for his race, and yeah, it's been good. So, you guys have put some questions together for this Ask Junior. Amy was here last week. She had a lot of fun. I wanted y'all to know that she really enjoyed the show. And so she'll be back on at the first of the month for every month for the Dale Jr. Download this year, next year. And she's enjoying that. So thank y'all for being great to her. Saw the comments on social media that you guys had out there, and but let's get right to the questions.
This first question coming from Facebook, it's from Tiffany, but I think someone in this room could benefit from it even more. She wants to know, what's one piece of wedding advice you can offer to a couple getting married soon? Dalton, you've got your wedding this weekend.
This Saturday.
Oh, man. Wedding advice.
What you got?
Let me think about that one.
What do you remember from your day of?
Yeah. So, there is I don't know. There's there's some stuff that you'll do during. So what happened with us is we went to the location that we were going to get married. I'm with all my buddies and groomsmen, right? We're in our own space. I would enjoy that time. You're going to be nervous and you're going to be kind of like, hey, what's next? Like what happens next? Don't really worry about what happens next. Like, I wish, I could go back to that room. We were all hanging out, and getting, just talking about being there. And I wish, I could go back and relive that. Not that I didn't soak it all in, but that was a great moment, right? Amy, my wife, was in her space with her girls doing the same thing, right? Laughing and getting all excited. And so those are some really, really great moments. And a lot of times you're like so anxious about what is the next thing, pictures or whatever's coming next, that you're not like living in the moment. It's impossible to like live in the moment because you're so anticipating the wedding itself and the moment you're up on that stage in front of everybody. But let it be slow. Let the day chill. And everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna go great. There'll be some hiccups. Something's not gonna happen the way it's supposed to. That's okay. Now your wife, that's not okay. She's gonna be upset, right?
Put on a strong face for that.
Yeah, be like, hey,
are you kidding me?
No,
are you kidding? Yeah, right.
Yeah. But I also like when you're standing up there with the preacher or whoever's officiating your wedding. Man, when you see her for the first time, whew, it's tough. Why? Because I'm with this person all the time. We're around each other all day, every day. But in that moment, when you see her for the very first time walk out in the dress, it's real. It's like, that's when it hit me, at least. I was like, holy moly. Like, I'm really going to be somebody's husband. I'm really, that was a really big moment for me. And that was one of my favorite moments. And so as she's getting closer and coming up there to join you on in up there, it's just, that is such a really, really badass moment that you'll never forget. You shouldn't forget. But it's like quick. It's over and it's a shame it doesn't last forever. And I guess, afterwards, don't take a ton of stock in who stays, who goes to the rest of the thing. We had a party. Ours was on New Year's Eve, right? So we had a big party. We kind of did a 2-for-1 thing, wedding and New Year's party. And you shouldn't care like who's there, who's not there. it's the day's about you and her, and I would just enjoy, whatever it is you have planned. I don't know, man. I mean, the pictures and the videos, if you have someone handling that for you, don't rush through that.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm saying this from the guy's point of view, right? I can't, I certainly wouldn't give any women advice on their wedding day, but the guys are like, yeah, the pictures, well, okay, I'm going to do them, right? I'm going to do the pictures, but that's an important, so they are important, but you might not feel like they're as important until you're years later. I have 2 pictures in my house from our wedding day. One is us kissing at the on the stage, right, when it's you may kiss the bride moment. We have that, and then I have this other picture from our reception or our party afterwards, where me and Amy are together, and our person took those pictures, right, and I'm so thankful for those because they're 2 of my favorites. And man, I mean, I didn't really think it in the moment when we were doing all that, because we're just like pictures, It's like when you go to your family reunion and you're having a great time, you're hanging out with your uncles, drinking beer, and the aunts and daughters, and everybody goes, "Okay, everybody, get together. We got
pictures.
Time for the pictures."
Like, yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, I was having such a good time right here." But take the pictures, put the effort in to make the pictures good, because they will be very important to you in 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And I mean, if you have kids, my little girls, Nicole's going to be 4 in October and Isla's 6. They look at those pictures and go, "There's mommy and daddy on your wedding day." Like, they look at them, and that's important pictures to them, and they're only tiny kids. And they look at those, and they look at those pictures, and it raises our profile, right, as parents, when they see that picture on the nightstand or in the living room, and they see the love and the companionship and all that. So I don't know. I just let the day. Don't rush through it. Don't be anticipating the next thing. Enjoy what's happening at that very moment. And it's not going to be perfect. It is perfect. It is perfect. It's going to be perfect, but it's not going to be perfect. If that makes sense. I don't know. Hopefully that was helpful.
It was. This is great advice. I like the idea of like being present in the moment, because it makes a ripple effect towards the future. Yeah, I like that a lot.
I just wish it's hard to do. You do that in everything in life, but I'm anticipating the next thing. Like I could be enjoying this more, but I'm looking forward to what is next. What comes next in the day. And more, you probably don't do that any more than on your wedding day, because you're a little nervous, right? You're going to be up in front of everybody. You've got this process of whatever it is. You're going to do your own vows. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And that whole moment, you're nervous. It's going to go fine. You're not going to forget. You're not, you might stumble. You might, but you're going to get married. You're not going to get married, right? It's all wins.
The goal will be accomplished.
I'm going to make the race.
You're gonna make the race.
Yep, exactly.
It's all wins.
There's no open cars.
Yes.
It's fine.
I've got my charter.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. That was good. Good stuff. Appreciate it.
Dalton's.
Hey, the pictures, going back to that. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I'm talking about the pictures with your wife.
Right.
Do take the candid shots with friends and family. Like, if you see your photographer around, and you're standing next to your uncle or your favorite aunt, hey, get a picture.
Right.
Get that stuff.
Right.
Right. Get those moments and get that documentation.
Yep.
Guys are terrible at that. I am. But I wish I had way more pictures of me with people from moments, right? And that'll be a special day that you'll want to have a lot of photos. All the photos that I have, like with my mom or anybody in that day, I'm so glad that I have them. I wish I had more photos with all the other people that were there that attended.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Dalton's wedding will be my first wedding I'm attending.
I'm
so.
Ever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Damn right.
See
Let's
you there.
go.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, Mike Davis said he's going.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
A lot of Dirty
It's
Mo
gonna be a
people are
hell
going
of
to
a
be
day,
there.
boy.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. This next question is coming from Joshua, but I've seen a bunch of people ask this. Brett mentioned you have a Watkins Glen adventure story with Ken Schrader and Bobby Labonte. I don't know if you...
He said we should
he
ask
said
you.
we should ask.
Oh, Bonnie.
And now we've got folks in YouTube
It was Terry
chat.
Labonte.
Oh.
I remember. So
One of them.
it's not an adventure. We didn't go on an adventure. So funny story. This has a lot of little layers to it. I am in my bus. It's Friday night. We've qualified. So you used to practice and qualify on Friday, and then you'd have a couple practices on Saturday before the Xfinity race or whatever else might be happening. But so all that was going to go on Saturday was like a couple of hours of practice. Qualifying has happened. I'm in my bus. It's like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I get a knock on the door, and it's Kenny Schrader. His bus is next door to mine, and he's like, "Hey, guys want to talk to you." I'm like, "Who?" He's like, "The guys, come on, come with me." And I go into Kenny's Schrader, and it's him, I think Sterling Marlin, Terry Labonte, maybe Bobby. I don't know. There was like 5 old heads in there, right? And they're drinking beer. And they've already been out riding on golf carts around in the infield, because it's like the infield or the camping at Watkins Glen is as wild as
it's
anywhere.
legit.
Yeah, it is. They're there to have a great time. And so, and this was back when it was a weekend deal, right? There was everybody, we all were there for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so, Schrader's, and they're not raising hell, but they're drinking beer, just laughing and telling stories. And so, I sit down next to Terry Labonte. And this is probably 2001 or 2. And they had yet to make, I don't believe they had made the Hans device or the Hutchins device mandatory yet. And so I sat down, and they're just going back up there about this and that and other. And you remember this? That was a funny story. And they're just going, and they're not, I mean, they didn't bring me in there to, they are not like, "Hey, Dale, we wanted to tell you X, Y, and Z," or "Dale Jr., tell us about this," or "What did you think about that?" They don't even, I just sit down, and they just carry on about whatever they were doing.
Part of the crew.
And I sat there for like 10 minutes wondering what the hell, what Schrader brought me in there for. And finally, they're in the conversation, and this conversation's going on, and Terry Labonte leans over and goes, "Hey, I've never said one word to this man my whole life." Terry Labonte, was Terry Labonte.
Yeah.
I didn't speak to that generation unless they spoke to me.
Sure.
Right? And Terry Labonte never spoke to me, so I never spoke to him. And I loved them. I loved all of them, right? They were my heroes. And so when I remember when I went to St. Louis and raced for the first time in the Xfinity Series in 96 or 7, and I pulled out on pit road, and I saw Terry Labonte in his Busch car, and I was like, "Holy shit, I'm on the same pit road as Terry Labonte." Like, I think about that.
That's
like,
really cool.
I had never in my life thought I would share a racetrack with these guys. And so here he is. He goes, "Hey," "Hey, man, I want to tell you something." I was like, "What?" And he goes, "I really think you need to wear one of them devices." And I don't know if I was wearing one. It was either he wanted me to wear one of the Hans or Hutchins devices, or he wanted me to go to a full-face helmet. But it was one of the two. He was like, "Hey, I really want you to think about doing that." And I was like, "Yes, sir." I was like, "Whatever you say, you Taylor Bonnie." And he's like, "Yeah, man, I really want you to be around here for a long time, man. Don't want anything to happen to you." It's like, "I really think you need to take it serious." And so I was like, "You got it, whatever, I'm doing it." And so that was really cool because, Dad had passed away, right? Dad was going to be the guy to tell me all the things that I should be doing, right? He'd been that my whole life. And now Schrader, Terry Labonte, Dale Jarrett, Bobby Labonte, all these guys picked up where that void was at, right? And they were all, every other week going, hey, man, I saw you doing this. I think you should do that. Hey, I saw you weren't doing this. I think you should try this. And, it was really nice. And so I did what he asked me to do. And the next day, I think it was Schrader or Sterling, I'm not sure who, pulls out on the racetrack for practice, runs about 2 laps, says, man, there's something wrong with the transmission, and had the guys change the transmission because he was so hungover. He did not want to be in the car, and he's like, transmission change is going to take the rest of the practice, and he'll get in the car for the final practice and run it. And so, those guys were pulling shit like that. Like Sterling and Schrader go to Watkins Glen in the twilight of their career, right? And they're like, yeah, whatever, fuck this race. But, they were just kind of loose about it. Yeah,
it's going to be my new hangover term. Is like
I need to change the transmission. Yeah. I just blew a motor. I need to change the transmission.
Third gear doesn't feel right.
I hung a gear, man.
Yeah, third gear doesn't feel right. I think we need to try a different transmission. Bad vibration.
Bad vibes.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is a good place to end Ask Junior.
Man,
but I've seen a lot of comments, and I've screenshotted them, and I've put it in a folder. So if you've asked a question, don't worry, you might hear it later on. So
that's
my message to the fans.
That's reassuring.
That's for you guys.
Man, thanks
the
a lot.
Andrew Curlin guarantee
of Andrew.
Yeah.
I've got a folder in my phone. It's called Ask Junior.
I hope that's what it's called.
What else? All right.
I don't know.
Well, I know that story took a ton of our time, but I appreciate everybody tuning in. We had a lot of fun today, and can we tell them who the guest is?
I think we keep it a surprise.
Let's keep it a surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise guest tomorrow.
It's a big one.
Yep, big one. Someone outside the box. But
that's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ethan in the YouTube chat just said, "Shut up, Andrew." So
all right. See,
save that one.
Sorry.
Yep. Sorry. Save that one. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank y'all for supporting everything we do here at the Dale Jr. Download. And I say it all the time. This is my favorite part of the show because I know y'all are on the other side of this camera. And instead of talking to these two yahoos right here, we get everybody in the room and everybody gets to be a part of the show. So I want to figure out how we can get that for the entire Tuesday show.
Oh.
Like a live audience tuning in on YouTube or what have you. That would be fun.
Would be fun.
Ah, yeah. So
scares me a little
people
bit.
telling
Why?
you to shut up the whole time.
We would have more opinions about our opinions, right? I wouldn't have to go read all the comments on Reddit and social media to see who disagreed with me.
Right.
Just get it live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just tell us to shut up live, just like they just did.
Thank
all
you
right.
for that, Ethan.
Yeah. All right. We'll see y'all next. We'll see you tomorrow. How about that?